Good evening and welcome to Pero Show. My name is Peter Ogena and I am your host. Tonight we have a very important guest. He is Barrister Sergius Oseasochie Ogun of the Oseasochie Foundation, SOOF. He's here to talk about his humanitarian activities. The reason why he has attracted our attention is because he has been deemed and termed the heart of gold in his community. Barrister Sergius Oseasochie Ogun, you are welcome to Pero Show.
Thank you for having me.
It is our pleasure to have you. And I just want to say that it is not all the time that we have people like you. Because Pero Foundation is about the community, is about empowerment, is about developing human capital. And when we heard about your communal activities in your area, we thought it was important that we spoke to you. So we are proud and we are happy that you are with us today.
Thank you very much.
Once again, welcome to Pero Show.
Thank you.
Barrister Sergius Oseasochie Ogun, first and foremost, tell us, who is the man Barrister Sergius Oseasochie Ogun?
Well, once again, thank you. Well, you have rightly introduced me. I'm Sergius Ogun. I am a lawyer. And I am from Tohimi in Ugboha, in Eastern Southeast local government. And I was born in Kano. And we came home to Isha, to my roots during the Civil War. Then I started my elementary school in my community, Tohimi there. And then went back later to the north to live with my uncle, where I finished my primary school, started my secondary school, and I came back to the old Bender State later. And then I started my working life in Warri, went to the Polytechnic, went to work in Warri, and went back to school to study law. And today, to the glory of God, I head an oil servicing company with offices in Port Harcourt and Warri. I have a wonderful wife, married, with 2 lovely kids, to the glory of God. And yeah, that's it for now.
When you say an oil servicing company, what do you mean?
It's a servicing company. We service the operators, those that own the oil wells. Our core service is to run pipes in their drilling rigs. And if I can break this down further, it's like the way you manually do a borehole. When you are digging a borehole or drilling a borehole manually, as you go down, you put rings so that the walls will not cave in. So that's the layman terms of casing and tubing. That's the work we do. So as they drill, so that the oil well will not cave in, they call us when they go to a certain depth, so that we'll run the pipes to protect the walls from caving in. So the big pipes you call casing, and the small pipes you call tubing, because it depends on how deep you want to go. Yeah. Because sometimes you have to flow the well. So you go with the big pipes, which is called casing, and the small one is called tubing.
Well, it was important to clarify that because people are rather suspicious of people who work in the oil field, in the oil industry, and I didn't want a misrepresentation of those people who are siphoning our money.
And I have to take you through all the plenty explanation. Yeah. That was not necessary.
So at least we now know that you are from the technical side of the equation.
True.
All right, that's fine. Barrister Sergius Oseasochie Ogun, we are actually here today to talk about your humanitarian activities. That has attracted people from far and wide, internationally and nationally in Nigeria. Because what we are really interested in, that brings us to the point of J.F. Kennedy, that think not of what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And we are from the school of thought that every little counts. Everyone, we all shouldn't be waiting for the government to provide the basic necessities of life. So when we have people like you who we heard are looking at the community and finding out how the community can be empowered, it's most important that we appreciate those kind of people. So we're going to be just looking at the different activities that you would have done for the community in the past few years. And we're probably going to start by looking at the water project.
Okay.
Could you tell us about that project?
Well, this whole thing actually started from the water project. We built a house in our village some years ago, and because we needed to use water there, we sank a manual borehole. Manual was dug up, and that was it. And because we don't live there, we decided to bring out the taps. It was actually my mother's suggestion. Why don't we bring out the taps so that the people in the community can take the water? And that's what we did. So there's a security man in the house. It's a family house built by every member of my family. Then we brought out the taps, and they go there to take water in the mornings and in the evenings. And that just led to so many things. You see people taking borehole. I don't even drink water from borehole. But you see people taking water from borehole. They were so excited, and they were praying and all that. And I was surprised. This is a little thing that one has done in the community. And look at the excitement, in the people. You can feel it. They are celebrating every time. The first time we opened the tap, they danced, rejoiced. Yeah, because they have saved them from going to the stream to get water. Like I said, I don't drink water from borehole, but they were drinking it and they were so happy. So from there, that led to so many other things that I'm sure we'll come to later.
Yeah. So the borehole that you put up at a point is still working and it's still there.
Yes.
Has there been an extension of it, or?
Well, if there's we had it on one part of the fence, and then there were issues with members of my extended family not allowing certain people to take, so we extended it to the other side. Yeah. And that's just basically for the water.
So the community can go there
yes,
now instead of going to the stream.
True.
But at least the borehole is there.
Yes.
And because water is one of the basic necessities of life.
True.
That should not be compromised. It should not even be discussed. People should have it. People should have a source of, a place where they go to get water.
True.
So that's that's very appreciating. And I have been to Ugboha once, and I've actually had a situation where I went to the stream there, and I know that if something like this has come to Ugboha, it will be a great relief to the community.
True.
So thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you.
And then we have the issues of the educational project.
Yes.
That was done in Eastern Northeast and Eastern Southeast. Could you tell us about that?
Okay, before that was because I had not been home for years.
Yeah.
Then when we built the house and then we opened it, so many people would come to say, "Hey, Uncle, I'm going to school." I didn't know them. So what I thought of is discuss with the elders in the community and say, okay, fine. Those in higher institutions, I will help them with just pittance, any small thing. So we started from there. So I said, okay, those in higher institutions, I would give 10,000 naira to, which was a token. And that again led to a whole lot of excitement that this is per session. Those in higher institutions to get 10,000 naira per session. So in that way, when you come to tell me you are going to school, I don't know you as such, but through the community leaders, that money is disbursed. So in that way, I have assisted you in any little way. And that led to a whole lot of excitement again about, someone training their children. Look, I'm not training your children. I'm only just assisting in my own little way, Though when I saw that excitement, I wanted to give out notebooks to those in primary school so that at least I could touch their lives too. Well, I was told to hold on and all that, but eventually we had to, do the arithmetic. Reached out to the principals, the headmasters and all that, and then we took off with that. But maybe I should also take you back to how we started the foundation. Really, yes. When we sang that borehole and with all the excitement, and then I was doing the little assistant to those in higher institutions. Then the young man that came in a while ago, Barrister Sergius Ogun, suggested that we could actually take this to the next level by registering a foundation called Sergius Oseasochie Ogun Foundation. And then he went about it on his own. So that's how we did that. He will now say, okay, over time you have trustees and people that will contribute money to this whole thing. You won't have to stretch yourself to do anything. So we did that, and today we have a trustee, and I have 2 giant construction companies. The owners of these companies are from the Asian extraction. You know, they have been very supportive.
Look at the foundation, then we come to what the foundation has been doing. What actually are the principles behind the foundation, the aims and objectives? What do you hope to achieve with the Oseasochie Ogun Foundation?
It's basically helping the helpless in the community. I lost my dad when I was 10, 11, and it's to the glory of God that I can sit down here today and say I'm a lawyer and I'm heading a firm and I can provide for myself and my family. So when I go out and I see people in the community that can barely go to school, that can barely feed themselves, I cry from within me. That I could have been any of those people. Because my father died, I was in the village, hawking. Even before he died, we were hawking from bread to ice fish to everything. Even when I had a father. Not talk about when he now died. My mother was a widow, an illiterate widow. But to the glory of God today, almost everybody in my family has one thing or the other doing and helping themselves. So when I see people that can barely feed themselves, my heart goes out to them. So that was the main objective behind this foundation, to be able to reach out to the poor and the poorest in our midst, because that is where I came from. I was among the poorest in the community. So any little opportunity I have today to reach out to them, I will not hesitate to do it. I will not require any invitation to do it.
Yeah, because it's always important to identify the burning desire, what propels a man to do what you do in life. Because make no doubt about it, it is not everybody that has the means that God has blessed that reaches out to other people. A lot of people we know do have this means, but they keep everything to themselves. So when you reach out the way you do, one has to say, hold on a moment, why is he doing it? We'd like to know a bit about what your drives, your burning desire. So, and it's okay now that people can actually identify with you, that you have gone through a process, a stage, that if you had the means, you would rather that people don't go through it.
True.
That is much appreciated.
Thank you.
But let's deal with the educational aspect first.
Yes.
Because overall, the most important thing in life right now, all over the world, is education. Because it teaches you how to be yourself. It teaches you how to know what life is about. There's this general saying that college is an experience to discover things, an experience to discover people, an experience to understand who we are, the world, and most importantly, yourself. And if there's anybody helping the helpless to realize that goal, I think once again that the person should be applauded. So, looking at the notebooks now that were distributed within the Eastern,
Southeast.
Southeast and Northeast. And then you talked about the scholarship. Yes. Maybe we should have a more detailed discussion on the process, how it was done, and how it's benefiting people right now.